Okay, hi everyone, and happy almost end of the week. It is 7 p.m. So if I do sound a little loopy, just blame it on my toddler. But really, I am very happy to be here with you and very honored to share with you a technique that might just change your life as it did with mine. So let's get started. Let's try to stay present and open to what's to come. Now, let's just start with a deep breath. And just imagine what would it feel like to move through your day with ease, no matter what comes your way, including toddler tantrums. And what would that feel like in your body? I would like to hear from you. And see, maybe by the end of this workshop, we can actually make that a reality. So please type it in. I would love to know. I'm going to take this. Oh, there you go. Happy, peaceful. I love your answers. Nirvana. Wow, that's peace. Yes, that's what I'm aiming for myself. What else? Grateful. Perfect. You're right on spot. Need peace. You've come to the right place. And it's closer than you think, Darlene. Perfect. Okay. Like I said, fluid and calm. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Well, how do we get there? Like I said, easier than you think. In fact, this is what we're going to be learning today in the next hour or so. We're going to understand the power of your own heart in a very practical way. We're not talking anything exotic, nothing woo here. It's just very straightforward facts that can help you lead the life that you want. The impact of survival emotions, we'll see what those are. Heart coherence, what is this heart coherence anyway? And then some practical techniques and takeaway. Okay. So, achieving coherence. What is coherence? In simple terms, is when your brain and your heart are in sync. And that's going to make you feel and think more clearly, feel better. One way to achieve this coherence is through heart focused breathing. Now, you might be thinking, how am I going to breathe through my heart? But there's a way, and it's beautiful and very pleasant. In fact, just by gently do it right now with me before we even actually get into the workshop. Bring your attention to your heart and imagine your heart like a big giant lung. Try to breathe in and out through your heart. And that alone will start generating some feelings of calm and balance. And in time, this will become your new emotional baseline. And in fact, American Journal of Cardiology, so very serious people, they did studies on this, and they show that just by placing your attention on your heart while you're speaking, as I'm doing right now, can help rewire your nervous system and improve your stress response. That's how easy it is to enter the state of coherence. And a lot of times we overcomplicate things, but the most profound techniques, the most profound truths are the ones that are simple. So, a quick look at the benefits of entering a state of heart coherence. Okay, they're running from better health because they're boosting your immune system to less stress, improve focus, stronger relationship. You're not going to be in that flight or fight response all the time, and you're going to have much more energy, which I can testify for because now I'm chasing a toddler all day long and my life is busier than ever, but I feel good. So a little bit about me, just so you can see why I'm so passionate about sharing this technique. And in fact, it started with big challenge, multiple actually. So before I learned the heart coherence techniques, I had insomnia. I was addicted to smoking tobacco, and not only anxiety, chronic fatigue, and on top of everything, I also had some disorder eating. But one of the tools that transformed my life, and I'm very grateful for that, was heart coherence. And as I said, I sleep better, I have more energy, I'm juggling a new career, and I do feel constantly guided by life in a very practical way and by my heart. It did not happen overnight, so one time only is not going to work, but it is what worked for me when therapy and lots of positive thinking stopped working. And you too can experience the same transformation as I'm sharing with you here. And it starts with a very simple question. What if, just what if, entertain me here? I know it sounds crazy. What if your heart could guide you more than your mind in the most practical way? Some fun facts that might just surprise you. Your heart actually has a little mini brain. It sends 60 to 70% more signals to your brain than your brain does to your heart. That means that your heart generates feelings that affect how you think and even your health. So, yes, your emotions directly shape your thoughts and biochemistry, and they impact everything from, like I said, your immune system to your thyroid. That's why you cannot lose that last 2 pounds or more, to your heart and digestion, right? When you're stressed out, your tummy doesn't feel good. And that has to do with survival emotions. What are those? Anxiety, anger, shame, guilt, sadness, fear. The list goes on and on. So I was just very honest here, creating this slide. I was running myself. Basically, my life was running on these survival emotions because I was trying to predict, control, manipulate life so that I can avoid discomfort. But I was running myself into the ground by doing so. Here's why. These small frustrations are, in fact, big energy drains. Now, I don't want to scare you, but let's just look at the facts, and then I'm going to give you good news. 5 minutes of frustration, impatience, anger, or any other survival emotion, basically, can really impair your immune system and other vital health system like digestion, right? For at least 6 hours. That's big. So they drain your energy that your body needs to heal. And even small frustration can basically snowball into something bigger. We all been there when someone made a snarky comment and we've been thinking about it the whole day. And that was a big energy drain running in the background. So the good news, as I was saying, just as quickly as we can get stuck in those sticky survival mode emotions, we can shift into the state of calm. So I want you to tell me once more in the comments. No judgment here. We're in this together. What is the consistent diet of survival emotions that you're feeding your heart every day? So type one survival emotion in the chat. I'm going to switch my screen so I can see your answers. And please know that I've done them all. Yep, that's a big one. Anxiety. Yep. Anyone judgment? Feel like it's pretty common. I still feel judgmental or fearful all the time, and that's fine. Sometimes there's that running it fear. It's a big one. Yes. Is the fear of the unknown? We don't know what's going to happen, right? All the what if scenarios. Yep, good. Unfocused. That comes also from probably overwhelm. Thank you. This is big, guys. And I'm going to switch my screen here. Hopefully you can see it again. Here's what I want to say to you. To interrupt, I'm going to look at my notes just a bit. To interrupt these anxious, fearful thoughts, like I said, you need a power stronger than your mind. You need the power of your heart. Your mind is already running on autopilot, kind of running the same script that you're used to be running, right? What needs to happen is coherence. So the good news, the extra good news, there's nothing wrong with you. We all share this type of experience. And here's why. Because it's hard to turn them off. Have you noticed? You get triggered almost instantly. You don't even have time to think. And they're also addictive, right? Fear, anxiety, judgmentalness, however you want to call it. They're addicted. They kind of feel good. It feels good to be bad. It feels good to worry. And at some point, it's so familiar to worry that when you don't do it, you feel out of place. It's a habitual way of feeling and thinking. Your feelings fuel your thinking. That's how simple it is. And they also feel justified, right? He did something to me. She said that. I feel entitled. They also make you irrational. The anger, judgment, fear, and anxiety can cloud your thinking so much so that you're like a drunk person walking around. And I know you felt this in your direct experience. You felt what it is to be in those feelings. And sometimes it feels like you're powerless. But here's the solution. And I'm not saying that in a light way, I'm saying that in a very serious, at the same time, heartfelt way. This breathing technique is based on neuroscience research, meaning that they've done studies on people's brain. And more specifically, these studies come from the HearthMath Institute. That's a name you want to remember. The HearthMath Institute has a lot of free resources that you want to access. And since then, major institutions have adopted these practices, including the FBI, police departments, and hospital. So let's find out calm together. I have a little audio here. And you might want to take a photo actually of this slideshow, this slide, because you'll be able to find this little meditation. I think it's 8 minutes. We'll do it together. But first, I'm going to walk you through the technique so you can be somehow prepared for it and enjoy it to the fullness. So here's what we're going to do. I'll talk while you take perhaps a screenshot or a photo. The heart aligned technique, it's called. You can call it just heart breathing technique. So the first step is just to, again, bring your attention to the area around your heart. It helps if you place your hand on your heart. I like to place my hand right here. If you can see me, it's the center of your body, and it is the area of your heart. It still encompasses it. Then we're going to start to do the heart focus breathing. So begin to breathe. You don't have to do a lot of visualization. Just feel as your breath comes in and out through your heart like a giant lung. And then we're going to continue to breathe. The lady here will in the audio will guide you very well. Continue to breathe, and perhaps as of right now, think of an emotion, a positive emotion or memory that makes you feel love, gratitude, appreciation, or joy. It could be a childhood memory. It could be just thinking about your child or your loved ones. It could be the face of your dog. Just have that in your mind's eye. And when you're locked in that feeling, that feel good feeling, you don't even have to think about the labeling of this feeling. When you're locked in the feeling, drop the image, because that's another mental thing, right? Drop the image and focus on the feeling, expanding it, breathing it. Trust me on this, it sounds more complicated than it is. So the recording is by Kimberly Snyder. She's a collaborator with the HearthMath Institute. Her website is mysoluna.com, and you can find this meditation under her meditations tab. I'm going to get started, and hopefully you can hear it. If you have any sort of troubles, Sadia will tell me, but I think we can all start now if you're ready. Okay? I'm excited for you.
Welcome to the Heart Alive meditation. Go ahead and take a comfortable seated position on a chair with your feet flat or on the floor.
Andrea, do you want to just increase the volume a little bit?
Totally comfortable.
I think that's the most I can get.
That's fine. The muscles in your body, your legs, your arms. You can make fists with your hands, your face as you inhale. And then we're going to release everything with a double exhale out through your mouth like this. Just feeling totally relaxed. Once again, we're going to gather all this tension and tightness throughout all the muscles of your body. Inhaling, and then double exhale out through your mouth. One more time, just like that. Inhaling, tensing all the muscles, tightening everything
Shake
up.
that tension.
And then double exhale out through your mouth. Now start to place your full awareness on your heart, on your physical heart and your energetic heart in the middle of your chest. Heart is not just a muscle pumping blood. It is a seat of high intelligence. It's a gateway to the true self, to the higher self. So there's a lot of energy just by shifting to your heart. Research shows that just by making this shift, we start to create changes in our nervous system. Now we're going to keep this focus on our heart while we start to take some slow deep breaths, imagining that you are breathing in and out of your heart. So we're going to start with count of 5 in, 5 out. So we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale out, imagining you're breathing out of your heart for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhaling out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time, just like that. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your attention on your heart as you exhale out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just go into a natural, slower breath pattern. You don't have to count. Keep your focus, your awareness on your heart. And now we're going to self-generate appreciation, feeling of appreciation, which is a heart-based emotion, which starts to create more coherence, more harmony, more syncing up inside of you, between your heart, your brain, and your nervous system. So recall someone or something that makes you feel appreciation, which is a mix of thankfulness, gratitude, awe, approval. It could be a loved one, it could be a pet, it could be a beautiful sunset that you saw. And once you have that feeling inside of your heart, you can drop the focus on the visual, the image of that person or place. Focus on this feeling, which could be a bit tingly, it could be warm, it could feel really expansive. And we're going to sustain this with your heart focus for a few moments. If it drops at any point, you can bring back that visual, that person, or that place. Over time, it gets a bit easier to sustain. But just for a few moments, keep that focus on appreciation right in your heart. heart. Know that by sustaining this energy, building your coherence, you're creating amazing change in your body. You're creating more harmony, more mental clarity, more health, more emotional intelligence, more resilience against stress. Just keep focusing on your heart. Keep activating that feeling of appreciation, which was shown so powerfully in research to elevate your health and well-being. A few more moments. Take another deep breath in and out. You place your hands on your heart or into prayer pose or Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. Just take a moment to thank your heart for its amazing wisdom, its amazing power. Know that it is always here for you. You can always return to the sanctuary of your heart, to this incredible intelligence inside of you, day in and day out. The more that you practice this heart-aligned meditation, the more you are building your coherence, just like a muscle builds over time. You're doing something amazing for yourself and your life.
Sorry about that abrupt ending. I hope you did enjoy this. And just take another deep breath. Breath is important, as you can tell. And what did just happen to your body? Let me just turn this off. What did just happen in your body? Well, if you gave it your best, and I know you did, you've just achieved heart-brain coherence. And please type in any sort of changes in how you feel, because whether you feel it or not in this moment, and sometimes it takes a second to feel it, takes more than one time. This meditation, however you want to call it, initiated a cascade of over 1,400 biochemical changes in the body, promoting healing and rejuvenation. So do tell me, how do you feel? Just be honest. Let's see. Oh, I love that. Feeling brave and sleepy. That's how pretty much I feel as well. A little sleepy, a little loopy. Yes, the sleepy part can come exactly from a state of relaxation, and it's because your body probably needs it. Thank you. Thank you for typing that in. So relaxing, nice, calm, and lighter. Yes, these are just subtle shifts at the moment. But imagine practicing this just 5 minutes a day. That's all. That's what I've done for probably a couple of weeks before I started seeing massive changes in my overall uh, health and well being. And if you keep practicing these positive attitudes, you might just reset how you feel overall. Suddenly, things that used to upset you don't really bother you that much anymore. You find yourself telling people, hey, don't sweat the small stuff. You find yourself in this calmness most of the time. And instead of waiting for the world to change, you will be the one embodying the qualities that you want to see in the world, the love, the kindness, forgiveness, appreciation. You will be the one that starts the change. But basically, you just took a chill pill. So, as Dr. Joe Dispenza, one of my favorites, he says it very well. shifting to positive attitudes and feelings can produce PET scans of the brain that are almost identical to the scans generated by real mood altering medicine. Now, I don't know about you, but this sounds phenomenal to me. You have an internal pharmacy, and it's a wise thing to take advantage of it. You already told me how you feel. It doesn't have to be a dramatic change. We always think it has to be a big shift, but subtle, small shifts over time turn into big changes. And let's continue with some more fun facts, things that you might actually want to share with your loved ones and coworkers and improve their lives as well. So, um, here we go. I know we have a bit of time left. I'm going to try to go over these very valuable and dear to my heart slides. So, did you know that what you just did can be felt by those around you? In fact, over 3 feet around us, the heart magnetics field. There's an actual field that was measured by the HearthMath Institute using some sensitive magnetometers. So that means that even the emotions that you're not even aware of can sabotage your interactions, especially if are not the pleasant kind of ones. So if you see anyone giving you a hard time for no good reason, apparently, it might be because they're just responding to your energy field. Now, that doesn't mean you're guilty of anything. It just means that we are so sensitive to each other's feelings, even though it seems like they're very private. They're not that private. So let's look at some real life examples. I am a very practical person and enjoy these more than anything. So by now, I think you understand that if you have the same emotional response, you're going to stay in the same type of life and health. So if you react in the same way every day, anger, resentment, anxiety, shame, guilt, to your same circumstances, right? Work deadlines and children's tantrums and bills, health, anything that appears in your day to day life, you're going to be activating the same genes for a disease. And we're not talking about anything dramatic here. It could just be like you notice anxiety, but that's not pleasant either, right? You remain the same, and so does your health and overall life. Now, a new emotional response will absolutely turn things around for you. So, if you practice heart coherence and embody patience and compassion to the same to when reacting with the same rude coworker, you're going to be activating the genes for health and emotional balance, emotional intelligence, and your dynamic with that person will change, and so will your health. So here's the kicker, and this might sound absolutely fantastic, but it's also true. Your body cannot distinguish between imagination and reality, and that's why this technique works. You just imagine a very pleasant thing, right? And it generated amazing chemicals in your body. That's because, again, your body cannot distinguish between imagination or reality or between the past and present for the body. There's only now, here and now. So, whether you're just relieving a stressful event on your therapist's couch or you're just discussing an argument you had with your spouse this morning, your body will produce the same stress chemicals as if the event is happening in real time in this very moment. So, why not take advantage of this fact and imagine or think about and feel in our heart and body elevated emotions? So in order to change our circumstances, we have to start feeling better before we see any other changes. So before anything else changes, the coworker, the children, the spouse, the bills, before anything changes, you have to start feeling greater than your current circumstances. And it sounds a little challenging, but as you can see, it's not. Just by placing your awareness on your heart and tuning in to something better than the current circumstance. So how do you actually choose them, these better emotions? I've come up with a very simple example. Arthritis is something that even younger people nowadays have. So let's just say that you've been diagnosed with arthritis, and after this diagnosis you just resist the urge to spiral into the fear and frustration that you normally would choose in this type of situation. And so you're human, right? You do get a little fearful, but after the initial shock, you do decide to feel thankful for all the ways your body still supports you. We forget this. And so you breathe in that appreciation daily through your heart. So at first it's challenging because you're not used to it, and because your body has been conditioned to run on these raw emotions. Like I said, they're addictive, and um, they feel very real. So soon enough, you start feeling yourself as strong and resilient versus a victim of your circumstances. And that obviously influences your actions. You care for your body, but not out of fear, but out of confidence and love. And look at this. This is your heart rhythm on elevated emotions such as appreciation, gratitude, love, compassion versus frustration, anxiety, and stress. It's like tuning your body to a calm radio station. I find this fascinating, and it's a deeply moving um, visual for me. Okay, so the only reason you really want the job, the health, the money, the partner, the friends, and insert everything else that you might want is just so you can feel good inside. If it's easy for our bodies to get used to feeling stress and live in survival mode by imagination only, like I said, why not take advantage of this fact and choose different emotions every day? Only 5 minutes a day. That's what I did. And you can actually find 5 minutes for yourself. That's loving to yourself. The elevated or coherent emotions I've been talking about, by now you know them. They're love, appreciation, compassion, care, joy, trust, hope, peace, awe. Even that is a wonderful emotion. So I've also included a bonus technique. I don't know how much time we'll have by this point, but I did really want to share with you. I do really want to share with you this bonus technique. It's also a heart breathing technique. It's called attitude breathing technique. And this one is particularly useful if you're anything like me and you kind of struggle with deeply ingrained beliefs and perceptions. I don't matter. I'm not that smart. People don't care about me. I had that. People don't care about me, or I'm not that smart. So, what do? Well, it's not that different from the first technique. I don't have an audio for this because it's actually simpler. So, just like before, you recognize the feeling, right? Oh, I'm on autopilot again. I'm feeling that very familiar feeling in thinking pattern that says I'm not good enough. I'm not going to make it. I'm a failure. Whatever you want to insert in this. And once you do that, use it as a signal to do your heart breathing. So what you'll do is you're going to replace that feeling with its opposite, the elevated emotion. So, for instance, being judgmental here, pretty common one. So, the replacement attitude to breathe will be compassion or kindness. And here's the kicker: you don't even have to do any mental visualization like we just did. You just have an I mean business attitude, and you start breathing in the idea of kindness or the idea of compassion or patience if someone is really pushing your buttons. Just start focus on the area of your heart. Imagine your breath in and out like we just learned, and a little slower and deeper than usual, and breathe in the feeling of the new attitude again with a very, I mean business intention, because some of these attitudes are stubborn. You've been practicing them for a long time. And at first, it might take a minute, but you'll get there. Here's an interesting slide. So, again, you might want to take a photo of this. Everyday attitude breathing, right? Every day we feel like we get in sticky attitudes. We get stressed out. So, you're going to start breathing calm, ease, and neutral in and out through your heart. If you're getting impatient, you know the match of that. If you're getting overwhelmed, start breathing ease. Just follow your intuition, honestly. It's very straightforward, but sometimes we forget to do it. So take a photo. If you're feeling bored and you actually need to feel inspired, maybe your job requires it, or you just want to feel motivated, start breathing that attitude. The word motivation, bring it to mind and heart, and it will rewire your nervous system, like we talked about. How about a couple of key takeaways? But first, I want to ask you, do you have any questions for me so far? Type in if I can answer any questions so far, because I know as with anything new, there might be a little bit of a learning curve. And if not, we're just going to go on the next slide. Back on screen, of course. Here it is. Actually, I'm going to go 2 screens. Again, you know which one is it. You know which one is your, say, flavor of thought and feeling pattern that you tend to experience pretty regularly, whether at work or in your family. So what you'll do is recognize the attitude and use it as a signal to start your heart beating. And trust me, you're doing it right. Your brain will try to get in the way. And you'll have thoughts like, am I doing this right? I don't really feel anything. Should I just keep going? But you have to keep going if you mean business, if you want to change this attitude. And trust me, it can be changed. So you're going to breathe in this new attitude. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You're going to just think the words. If you don't have any sort of person to say, think about and feel calm when you think about that person, or maybe a nice lake, or ease. Ease is a pretty difficult one at first, right? How do I think of something that would bring me ease? But in fact, just by thinking of the word and imagining ease flowing in and out through your body as a sweet light breeze, this will do the trick. Like I said, your brain and body don't know the difference between imagination and reality. Your body lives in the now. Mindfulness practices, yes, indeed. It is. It is. Loving kindness meditations are based on, in a way or another, on heart feelings. In any elevated emotion is a heart emotion, because like I said, your heart has its own mini brain and influences your brain, your actual brain, more than vice versa. This actually is my favorite thing to share with people. Conversation starter. Okay, some key takeaways as we approach the finish line, but not just yet, so I can take a little bit of time here. So how do you create a new emotional baseline with practice, right? Just 5 minutes a day. So remember what I just said. Your heart influences the brain, emotions, and health in a very direct, very practical way. Make it your goal to choose a different emotion to combat recurring unpleasant situations in people. This will literally change the circumstances of your life and health. When you stop feeling like a victim, which is so easy and sometimes so good, you stop thinking and acting like a victim, and you stop generating the same negative outcomes. sometimes it does sound harsh to call us or ourselves victim, you know, but at the same time, that's what those emotions do to you. They make you act and feel in a way that you would never choose for yourself. It's not loving to you, and you have an option. You can choose differently. So another thing to take away: stop replying in your mind uh, unwanted events or imagine worst case scenario. I know it's easier said than done, but this is exactly what prevents you from accessing the solutions that you need. So when you see that mind loop going on and on and on, uh, in I've been there. I still go through these cycles at times, and I just take it as a signal to go to my heart. It's that simple. I don't beat myself up for it. I just do my heart breathing. And lots of times I don't feel like it first. That's why you have to create a habit, just 5 minutes a day. But don't wait for crisis to use these tools. Practice them when you actually feel good to feel even better. Practice them first thing in the morning, just like you would take your vitamins. Before you even jump out of bed, just focus your attention in the area of your heart. You don't even have to go through the whole technique. Just that simple fact. Once you, or before you even open your eyes, just focus on your heart and start breathing through it a couple of times. And you will thank me later, but that's not even necessary. I'm just happy that you'll have this tool under your belt. Commit to 5 to 15 minutes daily if possible, but I'm just happy if you would try it every day for as much as you have time. And remember, the heart alignment technique will give you a solid foundation. And then the attitude breathing will help you when you really get stuck, okay, in a heavy emotion that feels unsurmountable and you can't seem to shake it off. So don't forget that your heart is always with you. Think about it. Why would nature give you a heart that beats, that helps you generate beautiful feelings, if not to use it and guide you back to calm, one breath at a time? We have a pharmacy in our bodies and we have to use it. And so I thank you so much. And take a photo of the slide if you want to get in touch with me, just to say how it's going. Ask me any questions whatsoever. I'm not even going to charge you for anything. I'm just happy to hear how you're doing. And I invite you to pick one moment tomorrow. Start tomorrow. Friday is actually a great day to start your coherence breathing technique practice. Practice a heart focused breathing when life gets tricky. Any moment tomorrow. And notice how it feels. And if you like more resources, techniques in books, um, drop me an email or go to my website, freetobreathepresence.card.co. That's why I said take photo. It's not easy to remember necessarily. Um, but I will have soon enough on Amazon, I will publish a journal that will guide you through gratitude and heart power. And the technique will be at length explained in there as well. So stay tuned for that, but get in touch as soon as possible if you have any sort of questions. I'm here to help you. It made a tremendous change in my life. I am truly a different person, and I could talk until the cows come home about this. So thank you, Sadia, for hosting this workshop. Your work here is phenomenal. Any questions, guys?